Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Starbound version 1.3, the Spacefarer update. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and I'm all by myself this time. No guest stars, but I will do my best to entertain you. The reason I brought you back is I have been playing this game so much, and I've accomplished quite a bit. So, for those of you who have been following this series, and I admit there are less of you than I would have hoped, but still, you have already seen the beginnings of my human base here, which I have titled Humania, or Humania, or however you want to do it, I guess, Humania. And the whole point of it being that in the lore of the game, this great planet-sized tentacle monster known as the Ruin destroyed Earth. And so the humans have been scattered across the galaxy like interstellar gypsies. Unfortunately, they haven't settled anywhere. Like, you'll occasionally see them on a star base or a ship, but normally when you find them on a planet, they're like Coachella. Like, there's a bunch of tents and some vans. They don't actually have permanent residents. So my idea was to create a large human city in order that the humans can find a home again, repopulate, all that good stuff. I mostly made it human. It's like mostly human. I do have an alpaca, which you can see right down there. He is our guard, so he's protecting the top of the base. And his name is Julian, which I rather like because that's kind of like Julian the Apostate, the Emperor of Rome. So you've seen this part before. This is my other guard, my armed guard. And his name is Billy. And then below him, we have a merchant and a cook. So the cook is not the one that Bertie Bot fell in love with, unfortunately. That one was replaced, but now we have Robin, and our merchant is Draven. Moving further down, we do have another non-human. This is the only other non-human besides the alpaca, and he is a mushroom. And the reason why I have a mushroom in the fortress is because the fortress is in the mushroom biome. Or, as the mushrooms like to say themselves when you speak with them, the mushroom habito. But I have to be very clear, that is their word. And the only reason I'm allowed to use it is because I have accepted one into my base. I have been accepted into their culture. I don't just have one mushroom best friend, is what I'm trying to say. I'm allowed to use their word because I've spent a lot of time with their people and I understand their plight. And this is where he lives. He being Ivariha. Maybe it's a she. Don't know. Then we have Nevada. Nevada is an astronaut. And we know Nevada is human. Primarily because the wiki says so, but also because all of these planets here are the planets in the Earth solar system. There's like an American space shuttle there. You can even see a little American flag. Nevada, of course, is a U.S. state. So, I'm thinking human. So then I had this room here, which I was using to display my little fossils. But I decided, hey, why not have a tenant here too, even though there's not really a bed. It's not really a bedroom. But then Reed came. Reed is Mr. Moneybags. Unfortunately, the fossils were not enough for Reed, so I also moved in all of my trophies from winning the one of the side quests involving a gladiator competition. And you can see I've worked very hard to preserve the layout of the caverns as we found them. So you can see there's this here, where there's a little window that our merchant can look out on. I didn't put a window down here because this is filled with water. So, I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool, but it's a window of water. But over here, Nevada has a window which looks down into this underground lake, and also a window into another bedroom, which I'll show you in just a second. So this was originally just supposed to be a rumpus room for everybody to hang out in, and they did, you know, for a while, but now they've moved to different parts of the base. The one thing I love this game, I adore this game, but the one thing that is just absolutely Bush League terrible about this game is the AI of the people. Like, they'll spend hours just walking into a wall. Like, I don't know how hard it is to program AI. I'm sure it's incredibly difficult, but I didn't expect it to be that bad. But regardless, I did manage to get a tenant in here too, because this is all space station furniture. This is a new tenant in the 1.3 version of the game. It's known as a station tenant, and her name is Marielle. So she's hanging out here. So she and Reed don't actually have a place to sleep, but they occasionally go and use other people's beds. And we're cool like that. So, not a problem. Excuse me, I need to eat real quick. I'm having a little hunger issue. Alright, moving on. This is my kitchen area. So I've got 2 farms. One of them has a cool window looking up into this little tunnel here. Well, actually, there's 2 windows. One looking into this tunnel and one looking into this tunnel. Again, I like to show off the natural beauty of our surroundings as much as I can. These 2 chests have seeds in them, and they're ice chests, so they keep the seeds cold. All of the materials here are for one specific purpose, and that is to make a very complicated dish known as a banana split. And a banana split's a pretty good dish. It will fill up your entire food rating, and the way you make it is you go up here and you make Avis Mingo ice cream. And in order to do that, you need Avis Mingo, milk, snowballs, and sugar, which I have here. Avis Mingo, snowballs, and milk and sugar. So then you take it to here and you make your Avis Mingo ice cream. Then when that's done, you want a banana, chocolate, and pineapple. So we go back, we take a pineapple, a banana, and chocolate, which we can't get, so we're going to throw away an Oculemon. Okay, then we go back, and banana split. Wonderful. And a banana split is great. It does a lot of good things to you. Let's see if I can eat it. I might not have enough hunger. Oh, actually, let's wait, because I already have a lot of benefits I got from eating the other stuff. But that's the entirety of this entire food production of this entire base. We are the banana split capital of the galaxy. And that's what we do here. I figured there's so many, there's like thousands of things you could cook, and you can totally get lost in it. So what I decided to do is just focus on one thing that does a lot of really good status effects, and it fills up your hunger, and just make a lot of it. So then south of there, or south, down, is my pen for these fluffalos, and I stole an idea from, I believe it was Dwarf Comic, where if you make it like this, they won't be able to get out no matter what. I used to have a sliding door like everything else, but people would keep letting them out, and it drove me crazy. So I built this kind of setup here where they cannot get out. So then we'll move to the right in a little bit, but just moving down for the moment. This is our kind of costume gallery. I have 3 rooms here full of costumes, some completed, some not. Most of these up here are completed. This guy still needs a bandana. This guy needs a hat. This guy needs a hat. This guy needs a chest, and this guy needs a hat. I don't think the hiker might have a hat. And then this is complete. These guys all need hats. This guy needs a tail, which is like a backpack, and this guy needs a chest, and actually I think this guy needs a chest too. It's just the lower body and the neck. But we're getting there. Then to the right here is where I put all of my action figures. Now in this game, action figures are an incredibly rare drop. Every time you kill an enemy, you have like a 1/2 of 1%, or maybe even less chance of getting an action figure. Every enemy in the game will eventually give one if you kill enough of them. But this one's my centerpiece because it's Astra Nox, who's one of the characters of the campaign, and it's a larger one, as you can see. I got it doing the campaign, so that's the one I keep. Over here, I have a nice little cafe where people can sit down and relax. I got a little plant there, and also a baby Pop-Top plushie, because in the next room over, with a giant window for observation, you can see that we have a adult Pop-Top. And actually, I made a big mistake here. This was supposed to be glass. So let's fix that. Excuse me, Pop-Top. And let's see, where's my glass? Oh, cool, I don't have any glass. Alright, well, the Pop-Top is going to get out. Looks like she doesn't want to, though. So we'll just put a placeholder here for them. Oh, I do have glass. Okay, cool. Alright. So this is like our observation area to watch the Pop-Top go about its business. And then as you get further down, here's another new tenant called an industrial tenant. You get this industrial furniture and the blueprints to make it also in the new space stations of the 1.3 update. And that's her over here. She's coming over to say hello. And you can see this, the regular Durasteel bed. I don't have an industrial bed blueprint yet, but her name is Selma. Then over here, our mushroom guy is visiting our other human merchant. Yeah, I don't want to do a quest for you. And again, he's just walking in place. The AI, as I said, is fantastic. And his name is Livio, or Livio. And he's just a standard merchant. Okay, then up here, this is where I keep my bug collection, my bug jars. I'm working on that. There's some couches, too, for people to kind of relax, have a good time. And we also have a Smoglin, just kind of running around. He's our pet. I named him... What did I name him? I had a really good name for him. Virgil. That's right. He's Virgil. Alright. So then as you go up here, we have storage. This end of the room is storage for fossils. I'm trying to put together fossils, but it's incredibly hard and incredibly frustrating because not only is it a really tough mini-game to get the fossils. First you have to locate them. Then you have to protect yourself so the enemies... Because if the enemies attack you while you're trying to get out a fossil, you could easily get killed. So you protect yourself, dig out the fossil, pass the mini-game, and then just hope that the fossil you get is one you need. And as you can see here, I've got the 2, 3 of some things, but stuff I need, like, for example, a human torso, an avian head, an alpaca torso and head, an apex torso. They're all missing. I still need to get those. These ones here, I believe, require 5 things to make, so I'm pretty close on the Tyrannosaurus. I have 4, and then I'm pretty close on the Ixodoom as well. I have 3 of the Orphodont and only 1 of the Sabertooth. So I'm working on it. I'm not doing so great. Over here, we have our costumes, or at least the ones we haven't put in the costume gallery. Now, bear in mind that not every costume in the game is a full costume. In fact, there's a lot more hats than anything else. There's actually a mod that takes the mannequin that you can produce and makes it just a head mannequin so that you could show off all the different hats, because there's like 10 or 15 times as many hats as there are pants and shirts and stuff. But this is where I keep all of the mostly hats left that I don't have in my gallery. This is the main entrance. This is actually the only way to get here now. I got rid of the flag up top, so this is the only way to get to this. This is the central Humania teleporter. This is the perfect armor, which used to be really, really good. I think I mentioned it earlier. But in this version 1.3, they totally nerfed it, so it's completely worthless. Like, I don't understand why anybody would go through all the trouble to get it. I did, just for fun, so I could display it. But it's still not as good as the racial armor of the top tier. Fire Lord, Fleshy, Snow Infantry. It's just more costumes, essentially. So here's where I stole everything from BirdieBot. She had a little petting zoo of critters, which I put down here in this room, and as you can see, there's glass windows, so people in the hallway or here can kind of observe them. And then above us, there's a glass aquarium filled with water, a fish I've caught mostly on a ocean planet. There might be one in here from like a poison planet or something else, but I think they're mostly from the ocean planet. So it's just a little hallway where you could observe the beautiful fish and the little critters running around, like the little snow guy, especially. Let's keep an eye on him just for a second. He sticks his tongue out, flails his arms around, see? And just kind of runs around. He's my favorite, I think. Alright, so this is another residential quarter. And first off, we have like a Star Trek guy. There he is. And his name is Isaac. So he's like on the Federation Star Trek. Here we have a ballerina. And she is, come on. She is Wren. And she's a little saucy. As you can see, she likes to smile real big and wave her hair. Or her arm, actually, although her hair is quite wavy as well. And she enjoys talking with other people. Then we have another cook. There she is. Do you want to buy something? Not just right now. Maybe later. And she is Guy. Oh, maybe it's a dude. Looks like a girl, but I guess it could be a guy with long hair. I don't know why a woman would be called Guy. Then we have Renee. She's just a regular human. We have a merchant. And that merchant's name is... What does that say? Heba? And then we have this gentleman here. This gentleman is Charlie. Apparently in the far future we have spaceships and the ability to manipulate and arrange matter at will, but we still haven't done anything about ocular problems. As you can see, he has big glasses. Alright, and then over here we have another 2 regular humans. We got Kelly, and wow, this is a popular area. we have Carson, who's there he is, Carson. He's got his hat. He's a sports fan, I guess. I don't know. A couple more. We have these two. She has purple hair. He has purple clothing. Marissa and Hasim. Alright, so moving down. This is where I'm actually going to put my full fossil skeletons, but I've only got one so far, the Hylatl. I can fit 4. I can put one up here, one up here, and one up here. I might put one in the middle to have 5. Maybe one of each race. I don't think there's a Novakid skeleton because they don't have bones. Then down here we have a human woodsman. It's a special furniture that you can get from the frog furnishings. And his name is Ash. Oh no, Anne. Oh, it's a woods woman. I'm so sorry, Anne. Ash is the one in my other base. And then here's the third of the new tenant types from the space station update. This is called the Astro. And as you can see, I don't have an Astro bed either. So she has a regular Durasteel bed, but I have Astro lights, a computer, table. And her name is Ellen. There's Ellen there. So the new ones are Industrial, Station, and Astro. And there's actually another one too called like Space Hero. But that one is really complicated to make. You have to have an equal amount of Astro, Station, Combat, and Industrial furniture. And I think one more type too that I'm forgetting. And if you put all of those together, then you'll get your Space Hero. So that is Humania. And as you can see, Anne, that's Anne, right? Anne here has a window as well, and so does Ellen, to look at this beautiful little cavern with mushrooms and different stone patterns, and it's really fun. And of course, another way to look at our friend, the Pop Top. The adult Pop Top. And that's about that. I think the only other cool thing that I might have not mentioned is this gentleman here has a window, which lets him look out into this. And the best one, though, I think, is the ballerina's room. Because she has 2 windows. One looking out into this little pond with a tungsten lantern, and this one looking up here. Although I just noticed right now I don't have a light up there. Thought I did. So let's fix that. Where should it go? Maybe right here? There we go. Just a nice little light. Provides some neat ambiance, especially at night. Nope. I don't want to do quests for them because sometimes it ruins their look. Like sometimes they'll ask you for a quest and the end result will be they'll put on this hideous mask. So I like to keep them the way they are. I try to make sure my people all look slightly different. Like I try to have a colorful cast of characters, you might say, in Humania. So yeah, that's my human base. I'm going to be adding more to it, of course. I'm going to be adding more housing and also some other things, I suppose. I've done a lot already. I mean, there's not a lot of outfits that are left, and I'm really not going to be doing any full-scale farming or anything here. But I do want to develop it a bit more. So now I want to take you back to my first base, just because nothing has changed inside of it, but I want to show you the outside. Because it's better at night, because in my arrogance and megalomania, as you can see here, the entrance is a scale representation of me. It's my face. There's the eyes, there's the little design on my forehead, and it's pixel by pixel accurate. Based on, if you look at the head and then look at the image, it is kind of the Mount Rushmore of Marcus Aurelius, if you will. And so I'm very, very proud of that. And to match the green of his face, I used the mossy rock. So I am very proud of that. Yeah, I better harvest this silk. Silk's very important. You need it for the Durasteel furniture, which I'm using a lot of. But yeah, actually nothing's changed down there. You've seen everything that there is to see. The only thing new is the portrait of myself. So yeah, I don't have really anything else going on. I haven't done much to my ship. I've added a couple workstations. I've added a couple storage items, but I haven't really, not in, like, for example, the same way that Dwarf Comic or BirdieBot did, where they really, really did their ship up nice. My ship, again, is just for moving around and storage of items. It's very utilitarian. It's not meant to be beautiful. That's what my bases are for. Now that I'm done with my human base, or at least close to being done with my human base, I think it's time to get started. I'm going to make 2 other bases. Might not make videos to show them off, but I'll just do them for fun. One will be a Novakid village, and it'll probably be above ground and all wooden. And the other will be kind of like underneath the lava or magma of a magma sea planet, and it'll be like a place for strange tenants. Like, there's a lot of strange tenants in this game. There's like maggot men and tar men and like just really kooky oddballs, geode men with geodes for heads. And so it'll be essentially a place for all of those strange type tenants to hang out deep under the magma, where they can be safe from the public at large, who probably is fearful and unready for their interesting appearances. But that's that. So I'll show you what it looks like when you go into Humania from the teleporter. And it lags like crazy, but it's still fun. And look, I can already harvest more essences from these guys. That's cool. So I'm really, I mean, again, I mentioned this a couple times, but I'm really happy with the way I have these spotlights, like showing off the natural terrain of the caves and the mushrooms. I like to think that these people are really enjoying their time here. They like to hang out in this room. They don't really sit on the couches, but they like to hang out and, you know, play with the Smoglin. What really makes me sad is that nobody ever comes to look at the Pop-Top. I'm sure the Pop-Top gets a little lonely. So, but I think it's one of the biggest monsters that you can find in the game. That's why I chose that one. The ground and background is all bioluminescent, and then we've got the bones of presumably the creatures that we feed to her. This is a nice window too. It's a good view of all this stuff. So yeah, that is Humania. As you can see, it's still under construction. I will continue to develop it, and I'll start on my new bases too. But I just love this game. I just really love playing it. All my spare time, I use playing this game. And I've enjoyed co-oping with my other friends. And hopefully you'll see a couple more co-ops before this series, which was always intended to be a mini-series, comes to an end. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this tour of Humania and my new Mount Marcus at the other base. And I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.